Hey guys, Mr. Riz here, and I'm just double checking that I am recording. Okay, I just didn't hear it. Just gonna help you guys out with your 137 project here. So my design is gonna be super simple, super basic, but it's gonna go over the requirements for it. So let's look here at Autodesk. Remember, feel free to pause this video anytime, go back. I know I'll be going through this pretty quickly, but I'm gonna make a pretty just regular kind of boxy shape for mine. So I'm gonna create a sketch here. Spot and plane here. Let's make one in the middle here. So I'll make a centered rectangle right here in the center. And I'll make it like just 3 inches by 2 inches. Cool. And that looks good to me right there in the middle. And I'm going to extrude that up. I'm going to make the first case, I'll make it 2 inches tall. Once again, this would be something you decide to do. This is definitely big enough to store some earbuds in. Okay, next let's hollow this out. We can hollow things out by using the shell technique. So I click shell here. I'm gonna hollow it out off of this space. And I'm gonna make it like 0.1 inches thick. Okay, so we got a base here. We got a box that we're gonna store things in. Okay, next let's talk about the hinge. So what we probably want to do is have some type of cylinder here off the back edge where we can go through and connect our piece. So I'm going to create a sketch on this side here. And I'm going to make a cylinder here. And I'm going to write down these dimensions so I know. They're not a cylinder. I'm going to create a circle. Off this corner here in the center, let's do 0.25. Something easy to remember here. I'll finish the sketch. Oh, got to change my view, move my face here. And I'm going to extrude this out. Let's say, yeah, let's do 0.75. Like, probably got to type that in. It looks good. Gonna do the same thing on the other side here. Turn it around. Create a sketch. This edge here. It's gonna make a circle with a diameter of 0.25. Finish the sketch. Extrude this piece out here. And once again, we'll do negative 0.75. Okay, so mathematically, if we're thinking about here, if the distance from here to here is 3 inches, and we took us 3/4 off, we took off 1.5. It should be 1.5 between there, and we can double check, we can measure, we can do inspect this piece here, and yes, 1.5. That's something we're going to need to know and remember for the top. Okay, next. So what we need to do though is we need to have like a male end on there. So I'm going to cut out like this box here, give it a little bit of space here. So create a sketch on this plane here. And just make a little rectangle starting from this corner here. And then I'm going to go down just a hair. Let's just go down. At 1.5 seems good. Let's do another 1/4 inch down. Okay, create a sketch. We got this little rectangle here. Extrude it in to cut it away. All right, so if we look here kind of on our sides of our hinge, this circular shape, actually kind of cut out a little bit more, and that's fine. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I need to put a like a male hemisphere on here that we can then kind of go through. So let's create a sketch. I'm gonna put a point right there, right in the middle. So where we need to put our centerpiece point. I'm gonna follow here, boom, draw a point, finish the sketch. I know it did look weird over here, but we did say make a sketch there. And I'm going to create a sphere. Just like this. Put it right on that point there. Okay, so here's the sphere. I'm going to make it, let's do 0.15. Yeah, that seems about right. And I don't want to do a cut. I want to do a join so it sticks out. So if you look here, we got this hemisphere that sticks out. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. So create a sketch there on that side. This over here using my mouse, putting a point just so we have everything line up right at the same point. All right, so we'll do create sphere right there, right at that point, 1.5, not cutting it, we're going to join it. Okay, so if we look here, our male part of our hinge is right there. Okay, looking good, looking good. Now we need a part for the clasp stick in. So I'm going to create a sketch on this. I'm going to put a little rectangle here in the middle. All right, so let's go design, create a sketch right here. So we need a rectangle. We want a rectangle so far down and kind of in this middle spot here. So I'm going to create another centered rectangle, probably the easiest way to do this, right here in the middle line. And I'm going to just make a rectangle here. I'm going to make it maybe 1 inch wide and then 0.25 inches. These are going to be information that we need to know. We can kind of go back and forth, and I'll show you guys. Go finish the sketch. We look, we got a little rectangle, and we're going to cut this rectangle in just a little bit. So if I go 0.1, it goes all the way through. So I'm going to do negative 0.05. Okay, bottom's looking good. What we also need to do on the bottom is put some air holes in here to vent it. Maybe I will do that just on the bottom here. All right, and you can do a bunch of different kind of patterns here, but I'm going to just go through and create sketch here on the bottom. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a circle here. Do a small circle like 0.1. And then I'm going to do a circular pattern. Select that circle around the center object. I'm going to put a bunch of them here, maybe like 12 of them. Oh, hey guys. Oh, you know what I did? I didn't select the circle. Selected the point. Okay, select the circle. Then we'll select the center point. Right, and then we'll finish that sketch. And then what I'm going to do is that I'll extrude. This is the tedious part. Clicking every single one of these holes individually. Just a little bit so I can see it. I'm going to cut them in. Cool. So we got some air holes down there at the bottom. All right, so I would say this is a good bottom piece. I am going to save this model. That was real quick. I'm sure your design, I could fillet the edges, make this look real nice. Over here, wrong one. File, save, make sure we're saving this in our folder. 137 bottom. Okay, gonna make a new design. We're gonna do the top piece now. What's gonna go into there? How is it going to fit? All right, so kind of same thing. If we look at our bottom, we had a 2x3 rectangle. I'm going to make the top the same dimensions. Create a sketch here, another centered rectangle. 3 inches by 2 inches. Right. And I will screw this up. And the top, I'm only going to extrude. Yeah, we'll just do 0.1. Okay, all right, next, what we need to do is we need to get the hemisphere, but we need to kind of get it in the middle there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an offset plane from this edge here, make it right in the middle here. So we're going to construct an offset plane from here. How far are we going to go? Right in the middle. negative 1.5. It was 3 inches there, so there's the. All right, and then I'm going to create a new sketch here. And we're gonna make a cylinder, or yeah, a circle here. Off of this corner, just like how we did with the other piece. And we made those 0.25, right? Okay, a little bit bigger, but that's all right. All right, we'll finish the sketch. So we should see a circle. Oh, I messed up here. Let's do that again. All right, we're going to create a sketch on this plane. Circle. This doesn't work. I got another backup plan. 0.25. Come on, be right in the middle. There we go. Okay, it's in the middle. All right, so we're going to extrude this out. So when we do extrude, we can do one distance. But what I'm going to do here is to do not offset. Oh, there we go. Symmetric. So the distance that we're going to go in here, if I did 1.5, that goes all the way across. So if I did 0.75, that would fit exactly between. So we need to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to do, let's do 0.65. And we're not cutting, but we are joining. Okay. Actually, realizing here, this would be hard to connect the semicircle. Well, we need a little bit of a gap, right? So let's put some gaps, some space in there. Let's create a sketch on this. Cut out a little rectangle there. Rectangle. A little rectangle here. Go. And we are going to cut those pieces out. Actually, oh my gosh, I'm not even thinking. We need bigger rectangles. We need to go them all the way. This is why I should probably look at my design here. Control Z. Let's make these rectangles out a little bit more. There we go. This is why it's good to do your design sketches first, guys. I'm doing this all freehand, so sketch. And then we can extrude these down. There we go. Okay, so now we got our piece here. All right, to get the hinge, all right, we need to cut in semicircle. So we need to get a point or center point, just like we did before. Create a new sketch on here. Put a point right in the middle. Finish the sketch. Sounds good. All right, we're going to create a sphere here to cut into it. Click and put it right there. Now, our spheres before, you looked, was what, 1.5? That's what was here. Measure this area. Yeah, okay. Point, yeah. So what we can do here is we need to make it a little bit bigger. So sphere here. So let's make it do 0.2. And that's probably 0.18. Okay. And we'll go over on the other side, do the same thing. Rinse and repeat here. So create a sketch. Put a point there right in the center so we know where to put the sphere. Right. Create sphere. Click on that right at that point there, 0.18. Cutting it in. Okay. So if we look, that's going to attach right there. A little bit of leeway in the back. That's okay. Now on the front here, what we need to do is let's measure out the distance from here to here. That is 0.475 inches away. Okay, so we need to be a little bit further than that. 0.5 would be good. So we're going to make a piece that's like a little bit further, still can fit inside this rectangle. And remember, this rectangle, if we measure, is 1 inch and by a 1/4 inch. So we got to be a little bit thinner than that and not as tall there. So we'll work on making our sketch for the top here. Going back and forth. So we need to do this right in the middle. So just like we did up here, let's make another offset plane. So I'm trying to move my face. Negative 1.5 gets us right in the middle there. And we're going to sketch. Okay, so we need to have it come out just a little bit more. Okay, go. Make it come out a little bit more, and maybe even. And now we need to start working on making our line. So from here down was like 0.475. I'm going to go down to 0.5. Okay. All right. Now we're coming up the edge. The edge was 0.5 in. So let's do a little bit less than that. Do 0.4 or 0.04. And okay, now we'll make a little bit of our hook here. Down. Now we had about a 1/4 inch there, so maybe we'll do like 0.1. Then we'll kind of come at an angle a little bit here. Down a little more. I'll try to line it up with this here. And not too far down. Okay, cool. So we have this little bit of a hook that comes out here that will kind of clasp on. All right, finish the sketch. Now what we need to do is to extrude this. On both of these pieces here. And we need to kind of do this both ways. Metric extrusion. And the distance, let's see, remember we had an inch thick there, so we'll do like point. I always put measure. There you go. Okay, so real quick model. We got one more thing we got to add on, but looking pretty good. What we have going on. Keep zooming the wrong way. We have our top. We have our bottom. Our top will hook up here, connect to there, ideally. I'm gonna save this now. I got one more thing to do, but it's always good to kind of save. 137 top. Okay, so we also need to have a carabiner clip, something to hook onto here. Easiest way to do that is do like a nice semicircle. I'll try to do that right in the middle here. So what I'm gonna do, maybe from this view here, let's create another offset plane. I'll go an inch in, so it's in the middle. And there we go. Let's create a sketch. Let's go ahead and right here's the middle. Make 0.4, 0.5. And I'm going to draw a line here, here, and another one here. Get rid of these bottom pieces. Oh, yep, I'm right in the middle here, so I'm going to create another extrusion. Gonna make it symmetric. You don't have to make it symmetric, but I will. And I'll make it 0.1. Actually, I'll do 0.05. Looks a little so that way. So that's where we can attach the carabiner clip to it. So if you guys think about it, what we have going on here in our project, you guys are going to be turning in multiple things. Let me get on to Canvas here. We'll go through. So with our project, we already did our sketching, developed the solution here. You guys have this Google Doc that you guys are going to create. And one thing about this is you guys are going to share a screenshot of your model, bottom, and then your top. And then, okay, we need to make the multi-view to make them go. So with the drawings here at the bottom, all right, remember you just go to File. We go to, not File actually, we go to Design, Drawings from Design. That's what we want to do. And just load. Okay, so here's the front. We click Project. Here's the bottom. Here's the side. Here's the isometric. Sounds good. Isometric, we should have it shaded. And then I want you guys to dimension them. Feel free to use the auto dimension tool. Say the top one's pretty good. If there's any symmetry, it's going to assume those. Okay, so you'll screenshot that. There is the bottom. We got everything that we need to know is all right there. Okay, do the same thing for the top. Now here's where we need to get a little fancy. What we're going to do here is we're going to make a new design. We're going to open, or let's say import, our other models. So let's upload. Here. I can't solve it. All right, how do we do this again? Oh, I know. Here, we gotta go through our folder here. So, got a new model here. I'm going to use the waffle here and open up my folder. And here we go. I have this folder here. So I'm gonna click and drag the bottom. Puts it right there. Cool. Then I'm gonna click and drag the top. Put it over here. Now they're gonna be right on top of each other. So we can move this using the arrows after we click and drag it right there. Okay, now here's a new thing that we're going to use, and we're going to learn this new section quite a bit. It's called assembly. All right, so assembly is going through and actually like lining things up where we want them to be. All right, so what we're going to do here is if I think this bottom corner, if this is closed, should line up perfectly with this bottom corner there. All right, and this like bottom edge actually will line up perfect with that bottom edge there. So over here, I'm going to close this waffle so you guys can see there's an assembly. And what we're going to do is join. We're going to learn a bunch of different types, but select this bottom edge here. The one selected. It's like freezing here. Try that again. You get froze on me. Join this bottom edge here and click other bottom edge. Yeah. Of course, why isn't it? Oh, well, they are locked. Break the link. Got to break these links here. They were locked, so that we didn't mess with them. All right, try it again. We are going to join this bottom edge here. Bottom edge. All right, I'm going to pause the video, figure out what's happening. All right, figured it out. Here, I'll go Control C a couple times. All right, so the problem was there's this little anchor here. So that's an issue here. Well, you have to right click on it and say unground from parent. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to join. I'm actually just going to use the corner. So I'm going to pick this bottom corner, looking at the front, like this other bottom corner, looking at the front. So be careful here. Don't like pick the one to the side, the one on top. Make sure it's facing the same view. Otherwise, you'll have to do it again. And that will move it right into its spot. And so if we look here, we can see these hinges kind of put together. Might make some of those adjustments, but if we especially look at this flap here, we are really good to go. In fact, this piece here. Hey, Brody, how's it going? I'm gonna pause this video here while I talk to Brody. All right, here. So just to show you guys kind of why we do this, something we'll work on doing. Obviously, there's too big of a gap here. This hinge would not work. They actually kind of do need to be a lot closer together. So my math was wrong there. I guess I could have figured out with the radius of this, how much that should go into there. So this would be something I would go back and adjust on this model here. And just to show you guys on the top, like if I wanted to adjust this cylinder, that distance apart, if I kind of go back and if you click on it, it does get highlighted. That's the extrusion there. What you can do is like you can edit that feature there. And right there, I said the distance was point. I could probably change that to 0.75. Makes it a little bit further. And now that won't change this model here, but what we can do is, I could go back, do a whole bunch of different deleting, really go back and see if I can do that again for you guys real quick. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Let's go back to that waffle here. Oh, I should, before I do it, I got Zoom stuff just opened up. Let's go to the top. Let's save it. So now it's a little bit bigger. Just to show you guys can go through and modify and change some things after you're getting to the assembly. It's our next layer. It's a little difficult. We'll learn some paths. All right, I'm going to now drag this new top over here. All right, yep. I guess I could just slide it up to where I want it to be at, but there we go. Move it, sounds good. And here we go. Let's do the waffle. Let's do the join. And take this bottom left corner facing the front. Touch this top right corner, or bottom right corner. Moves it over there. Now if we look. Ooh. Now that is like right on there. Probably shouldn't have made it like 0.74. Got a little bit of gap here. Still, I would go back and change that again, just to show you though, we can change this. Now, our drawing, what I'm going to have you guys do is make a design view of this assembly. So drawing from design. All right, if we can save it, whatever, drawing, we're going to do the full assembly. And okay, we'll just place this base here. I want to see the hinge. So I'm going to have you guys place this down here. You're then going to move my face. We're going to modify or not, we're going to create a section view. And I'm going to select this parent. And remember, section view is kind of like our samurai sword. I'm going to put it right at the top here, right down the middle there. Sounds good. And okay, here we go. Now we can see the inside of the hinge. And what we are also going to do here is to zoom into that hinge. Let's get a detailed view of this hinge. Select this parent view, select this hinge here. Now we can go through and see, double click, tap on it. Okay. And I can even make this bigger, make this a 2:1 scale. If I type correctly.
Jeff wanted me to ask if you got an email back from Hartswick.
Oh yeah, I did. He said it might be on a project.
Okay.
Why is my number pad not working? There we go. Type in 2. There we go. That's weird. Okay. Face. Close it up.
You should let me hang out in here today.
Okay. So you guys can see here, we got a little bit of gap. All right. You guys have any questions, ask, but I think this kind of goes through the entire project there, guys. I did that pretty quick. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Be safe.